good evening, good evening, Facebook family and friends. How you living? Welcome to my YouTubers to another installation of Meet the Authors, hosted by the Bridell Family Foundation. I'm Shakora Ellison, and it is so great to be with each and every one of you on this beautiful Tuesday evening. So, tonight's session of Meet the Authors, we have another special guest that we are going to bring to you. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself and about the book that she has written, which is Right, Wrong, or Both. So, at this time, I am going to bring on Miss Nimatul-ain Muhammad. How are you, Miss Muhammad?
I'm fine. I'm doing well today.
Awesome. Thank you so very much for joining us. Did I pronounce your name correctly, your first name correctly?
Yes, ma'am. Nimatul-ain, that's correct.
Nimatul-ain, thank you so very much. So again, welcome to Meet the Authors, and we do appreciate you and thank you for joining us this evening. So we are in the middle of, almost to the end of our readathon program, which ran from the 1st of March, and it actually ends tomorrow. And with our readathon program, I wanted to shout out our schools that we have partnered with that are hopefully joining in with us as we're going through this Meet the Author session, so they'll get to meet you as well. But we have partnered with 3 elementary schools. We have one in Columbia, South Carolina, which is A.J. Lewis Greenview Elementary School. We have one in Berlin, Maryland, which is Buckingham Elementary School, and one in Salisbury, Maryland, which is West Salisbury Elementary School. And with partnering with these 3 elementary schools, they are reading. And honey, let me tell you, when I tell you that they are reading, these students have already read over 77,000 minutes.
That's
in a
wonderful.
month's time. That is unbelievable. That is phenomenal. So we just want to say congratulations to those students who are reading. Continue to keep reading. And we are bringing you on so that we can introduce them to another book that they would love to read. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, Ms. Muhammad?
Yes, my name is Nimatul-ain Muhammad. I graduated from Morgan State University. I live in Washington, D.C., and I am an author, and I am a writer, an artist, and a animator. And it's nice to meet you.
Awesome. Now, I did not know this, and this is ironic. I am a graduate of Morgan State University, so it is always great to meet another Morganite. So welcome. You mentioned that you were an author, a writer, an illustrator, and a Morganite. Tell us a little bit about the book that you have written, Right, Wrong, or Both.
Yes, this is it. Right, Wrong, or Both. Oh, this is Right, Wrong, or Both right there. And it's my second book. It's a picture book, and it's basically a book where there are 2 people. They're trying to prepare for an African wedding, and they are learning homophones and homonyms along the way.
Okay. Now you said that this is your second book. How did you come up with, well, no, before I even do that, how did you get into wanting to be a writer, wanting to be an author? How did you start there?
Well, I've actually always wanted to be an author. Since I was really young, like a toddler, I used to like looking at cartoons, and I used to like writing and drawing stories about the characters. So that's actually something I wanted to do since I was little. And for the story behind my first book, I got the idea one day when I was walking home from the grocery store. There was a cat, a little black cat with blue eyes. It followed me home, and it started pawing at my grocery bag. And so I got the idea to write a story about it when I was trying to figure out what to feed it.
Okay. So how did you come about writing about homophones and homonyms?
Yes. Oh, well, my next book was inspired by, I was looking for a topic that I don't see often covered in children's books. So I thought about homophones and homonyms, and that's where I got the idea from.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that in this book, it is about two individuals who are preparing for an African wedding. They're actually helping their cousin to prepare for an African wedding.
Yes, ma'am.
Pronounce the names for me, please, of the characters in the book.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. This character right here, this character right here, her name is Iwalua, and this character right here is Telawo. And let's see.
Iwalua and Telawo.
Iwalu, yes.
Okay. And are these characters based off of anybody in your life? Are these like family members, cousins, friends? Where did you come up with these characters from?
Oh no, ma'am, they're not based off of anyone I know. They're actually characters. They're characters I invented for the story. I feel like, yes, that I just felt were best for the story.
Okay. And is that how you do with all of your books? You just build the characters based on what you feel is best for the story?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. All right. So you mentioned that you were also in the animating and an illustrator. How did you get into doing those interests?
Well, like I said, back when I was a kid, I used to look at cartoons and I used to write stories and also draw pictures of them. I also went to school at Morgan State University for illustration. And yes, I also illustrated my first and the second book right here.
Okay. So you were actually the illustrator on this book.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
wrong, or both. Awesome. Okay. So how difficult was it for you to get into writing and illustrating the book?
Let's see. Well, how difficult was it? You mean like, well, it wasn't really too hard. I was actually really motivated to publish a book. So I will say it did take some time because for this book, it took me some time to figure out exactly what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to write a story about homophones and homonyms, but I wasn't sure exactly where I wanted to go with that and how I wanted the story to be. And that's when I got the idea that maybe I should make it based off of a African wedding, because I found out a while ago that in my ancestry, I'm actually from a tribe in West Africa called the Yoruba. So I wanted to base a lot of the traditions, African traditions, off of the people from that region. So marriages from the people of that region.
Okay, which is awesome. I truly appreciated it. I like to learning. So not only does the book Right, Wrong, or Both talk about the correct spelling and how to use these terms, the homophones and homonyms, but it also gives us a little bit of insight into African tradition and African weddings. So that was
African
awesome.
weddings, yes.
And it helps us with learning the English language, but then it also helps us some with the African language. Your characters' names are African in the book. Do they have meanings, or do you know what the names mean?
Yes, ma'am, they do. I believe the boy's name, Telao. Let's see. This boy right, yes, Telao. I believe the name. I believe when I looked it up, they said that his name means builder, or someone who builds a paradise. I believe it was called. It was something like that. And let's see. I believe. Actually, Ewalu. And actually, the meaning of Ewalua's name escapes me right now, Okay. I can't remember.
No problem. That's fine. I was just curious if we knew what their names meant, and if that had any indication, any contribution as to why you chose those two names
Yes,
for
it did.
the book.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
It actually did. I can't remember the second name yet.
Okay, that's fine. What about your name? Does your name have a meaning?
My name, Nimatul-ain, yes, it means a divine blessing.
Awesome, divine blessing. And I asked that because my name, Shakora, means be grateful. and it actually comes from Swahili. So I'm very big on names and into names. So again, it's a coincidence that not only are we both Morganites, but we both have African names that means blessings or gratefulness. So this is almost truly divine intervention,
Oh, cool.
excuse me, that we are here tonight doing this Meet the Author. So while we are talking, for those of you who are just joining in, we are talking with an author, Nimatul-ain Muhammad, who is the author of Right, Wrong, or Both. This is a book that she has two individuals. It's a story about homophones and homonyms, where the individuals are helping their cousin to prepare for a wedding. So as we're talking with her, as we always do to our audience, make sure that you're dropping your names, or excuse me, dropping your comments into the comment section if you have any questions for Miss Muhammad, as well as we go through with this book here. Excuse me. And I'm just thinking of the different names and whatnot. Do you have any siblings? Do you base any of your characters? I know you said these are not based off of anyone that you know, but do you base any of your characters off of people that you know?
Well, no, ma'am, not. No, ma'am, I don't. I normally
No.
come up with a character. Yes, like I said, I normally come up with a character based on the story I have first, or an idea that I have. Yes.
Okay. So Right, Wrong, or Both is a story about homophones and homonyms. What is a homonym?
A homonym. A homonym is like two words that sound the same but have different meanings.
Okay. So like dessert and desert.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so then what would a homophone be?
Okay, a homophone is two words that are spelled the same and but okay, a homophone is two words that spell the same but I'm sorry, they sound the same, but they have different spellings and different meanings.
They sound the same, but have different spellings and different meanings.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so we have words in the English language that sound alike, but have different spellings and different meanings. Red and red. I read the book versus I see the color red.
Yes.
And then we have some that sound the same, but still have different meanings, as capital and capital.
Yes.
Capital being the capital, the state capital, a building, or capital being wages that you earn. So tell us a little bit more about how you actually got into wanting to tell the story of the difference between homophones and homonyms.
Well, let's see. When I remember, there are times when I've actually struggled to remember different terms and different ways and different, when I've struggled to distinguish between different words that are spelled the same when I'm writing. So I figured this book would be very helpful. And I found out that this is actually something that other people can struggle with too, especially when it comes to words like affect and effect. That's something people get wrong a lot.
Mm-hmm. I still get that wrong. On occasion, I can still get that wrong. When do I use effect and when do I use affect?
It's in the book.
It's in the book. Yes, it is. And I like how you have your pictures are also giving to help us with that. You talk about aisle and aisles, and not wanting to give away too much of what's in the book. So we definitely a book that is educational and just a fun read to read through. So what we do, Ms. Muhammad, during our Meet the Author sessions, we do have a period where we want our viewers to drop their names so that way they can win a free copy of your book. So this coming weekend, I believe it's going to be this weekend, we are going to have some drawings for some free books. So for our audience who are here on Facebook and YouTube land, start dropping your names in the comments so that you can be entered into a drawing for Right, Wrong, or Both. Okay. So you said right, wrong, or both, which is the correct spelling. We're helping a cousin to get ready for their wedding on time. And the only problem is trying to figure out these pesky homonyms and homophones. We need to find a ring, or does she need something that rings? Now we need a baseball bat, or is it a pet bat? Are there bats in Nigeria? Have you ever been to Nigeria, or did you just learn about reading from, or learn about the weddings from reading?
I just learned from reading, also looking at videos.
Okay. And how
I've actually
important?
been to a Nigerian wedding though, actually, but I've never actually been to Nigeria.
Okay, but you have been to a Nigeria wedding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How important is it to you to read?
Oh, how? Say it again.
How important is it to you to be reading, for someone to read?
Well, I feel like it's very important. I feel like I like when you read, it's like giving you an idea of how of somebody of you're learning about other experiences outside of yourself. So yes, reading is very important. It can expand your horizon.
Okay. And is English your first language?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So have you learned any other languages?
Oh, no, ma'am.
No. Okay. What in your reading, you said it is very important to read, and that's how you learned about the tradition. You did an ancestry, and you found out that you are from West Africa. Or you have family from West Africa.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little about your family's tribe?
My family's tribe.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
you mean the Yoruba tribe?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, let's see. I believe well, okay. Well, the tribe is yes, they are in West Africa, mainly Nigeria. I believe also in Ghana too. And let's see. Um, let's see what else. A little. At
Okay, so they're in West Africa and Ghana. You said you have not been to Nigeria. Is that something that you would like to do?
oh yes, ma'am. I
Okay. Is
would
that
like to
something
go.
that you see yourself doing in the near future?
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
So, okay. So right, wrong, or both. You mentioned that this is your second book.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
long did it take for you to complete this book?
Let's see. Completed. Let's see. I got the idea. Let's see. I got the idea let's see. I got the idea. I believe it was actually over a year ago that I got the idea. It was yes, it was in 2019 that I got the idea. So I'll say it took me about completing the book from the idea phase and also the illustrations and also having to fix and after it was fixed having to fix the grammatical errors and things like and mistakes like that. I would say it took about maybe 14 months.
Okay. And how was that process of finding a publisher? You mentioned that you did the illustration yourself, but can you talk to us a little bit about the process that you had to go through with writing the book and finding a publisher?
Well, I didn't really find a publisher. I mean, I was considering going to a publisher, but I actually ended up self-publishing on Amazon because felt like that was I felt like that was the fastest route to getting my book published.
Okay. Was there anything involved with you having to self-publish? What was that
And
process like?
self-published, well, I've actually enjoyed self-publishing. I got to learn a lot about how to I spent a lot of time researching my book, researching how to publish a book, like what would go into like what will go into the illustrations and also the writing and also what a publisher would be able to bring to the table and also and what I could benefit if I published it myself. And it looks like if I published it myself, I could actually get it done a lot faster and I'd also have more creative control. So yes, I thought that would be better.
Right. And do you have a publishing company? Have you titled your publishing company?
Well, yes, it's called Nia's Move Productions. N is in Nancy, I is in Igloo, I is in Igloo, Z is in Zebra, M is in Mary, and U is in Utah Productions.
Okay, and
On
you
Instagram.
mentioned that you're self-published and that you can get your books on Amazon. Is there anywhere else that we can get our books from for those who enter the drawing but unfortunately don't win a copy of Right, Wrong, or Both? Where else would we be able to find your book?
Well, you could go on Amazon or you could send me an email and I could send you a copy.
Okay, so we can buy the books on Amazon at Amazon.com, or we can provide an email and you will send us a copy.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
so this is your second book. Do you have any plans on writing any other books?
Yes, ma'am. I got this idea for another book. It was supposed to be about a family learning about how to maintain good health during COVID-19.
Maintaining good health during COVID-19. That is definitely something
Yes, ma'am.
that we need to read about, because COVID-19 was total new for a lot of us, for all of us. So learning how to maintain good health, not just the physical of what you eat, but also your mental health. Do you talk about that in the new book?
Well, there's a little bit of that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And do you have any plans to write any other books after this one? Well, before you answer that one, is there a name? Do we have a title for the book that's coming out that talks about maintaining good health?
Well, no, ma'am, not yet, but it will be on Amazon before the end of the year.
Okay, so we do plan on having that out before the end of the year. We do have someone that says that it will be definitely impactful. And I agree, maintaining good health during COVID-19. This time, what I wanted to do real quick while we are talking with you again, for those of you who are just joining us, we are talking to Nimatul-ain Muhammad.
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
going to work on that to make sure that I say it correctly. Who is the author of Right, Wrong, or Both? And Nimatul-ain, what I want to do is to just take a time out from just talking with you for a minute, if you would indulge me. Earlier, we talked about our readathon program that the Brunel Foundation is hosting this month. We also have a Reading Buddies program. So I want to take a minute just to shout out our Reading Buddies who are out there in YouTube and Facebook land. Our Reading Buddies are going through a 6-week session with us, and they're learning how to read and different things about reading. So for all of my Reading Buddies who are currently watching this live, I mean, you're watching it right now. You see live in the upper corner. If you're on Facebook, drop your names so that we can know that you are here. And Miss Kwanzaa normally does it, but since I'm the host tonight, for all of my Reading Buddies who drop their names, we're going to give you a special treat. All right. So Miss Nimatul-ain, do you have any suggestions or any words of wisdom to anyone who wants to get into the arena of writing, illustrating, and publishing their own book?
Well, I would say it requires motivation. So if you really want to, yes, I believe you could do it if it's something you really want to do. And also make sure you research to know all your options, like publishing and self-publishing, and also your your options in finding an illustrator and also a writer and also writing your stories, things like that.
Okay. And how long did it take for you to do that research?
Research, let's see. The researching and also going to, let's see, I researched. I also went to a lot of different places to learn about learn about other sources of self-publishing besides Amazon. And I'll say that took about, that took up a lot of time. About, let's see, it took a few months.
Okay. And was it just as hard for you to decide whether or not you wanted to be your own illustrator, or did you look into doing having other illustrators?
Well, I actually did want to be my own illustrator from the beginning. I'm actually, yeah, like I said, I went to school for illustration, so I wanted to draw them myself.
Awesome. Okay. Do you have any words of encouragement for our young readers who are thinking about any other words of encouragement for our young readers who are thinking about becoming an author?
Let's see. Well, I would say that Your unique voice is very important, and I think you should definitely share it with the world.
Your unique voice is very important and definitely
Yes.
share it with the world.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I definitely echo those sentiments. Your voice is definitely very important. Make sure that you share it with the world. We are the Bradell Family Foundation, and we're doing a lot to get reading back into our homes. Again, shout out to all of our students from Greenview, Buckingham, and West Salisbury who are reading. Over 77,000 minutes in the course of a month is totally phenomenal. And this is just the beginning. We are in the process of giving away books to our readers. So for any of you who are out there in YouTube land, we or Facebook, excuse me, if you would like to donate a book, gently used or a new book, you can definitely do so and help us with supporting our efforts. You can donate monetarily by sending it through PayPal at bradellfoundation@gmail.com. You can also send us a Cash App at Bradell Foundation or visit our website at bradellfoundation.wixsite.com/website. You can also visit that website or contact us to drop off your gently used or new books to one of our offices, Columbia, Salisbury, or Landover. We would gladly take those so that we can help to get reading back into the hands of our students. Again, for those of you who have joined us, we were talking with Nimatul-ain Muhammad, who is the writer of Right, Wrong, or Both, a book about homophones and homonyms. And if you drop your name in the comments, you will be entered into a special drawing to get your very own copy of this. However, if you don't win the drawing, you do have the ability to contact Ms. Muhammad directly via her website, or you can purchase the books on Amazon.com. Again, Ms. Muhammad, I thank you so very much for coming on tonight to share with us Right, Wrong, or Both, and to talk a little bit more. If you are interested in becoming a Meet the Author guest, give us a call, the Bradell Family Foundation, or you can visit our website. We would love to have you so that we can introduce our children to more authors such as Nimatul-ain Muhammad. Remember, no matter what you do, to always keep reading because reading is fun. Until next time, bye, family.